This video is part 2 of Nerf Mega vs. Elite Comparison and Review Part 1. We're going to be using the Mega and its Nerf Elite equivalent, shooting from the same spot to determine which guns are more accurate. 3 shots with standard darts in order to hit as many cups as possible. So, let's get firing. Nerf Jolt versus the Mega Big Shock. 3 shots each. Now moving on to the Big Shock. A pretty good gun. So is our emergency blasters, a Jolt and the Mega Big Shock, 2 for 3, 3 for 3. Now let's move on. Now moving on to our revolvers, the Nerf Strong Arm and the Nerf Mega Cyclone Shock. Alright, that was pretty interesting. Technically, I only hit 2 out of 3 shots, but we got 3 out of 6 cups down. So that was a pretty interesting run for the Nerf Strong Arm. A Cyclone Shock. Now, let's continue. The Nerf Roto Fury and the Surge Fire. That cup off the table. Hey. Roto Fury. Solid performance from the Nerf Mega Roto Fury. Oh yeah. For the Rough Cut and the Twin Shock, I decided to let each gun shoot 2 at a time. 6 darts total, 3 shots. It's now wider to see how many of the darts actually hit the cups. This also shows us how wide the darts span when coming out of each gun from the same range. First up, Rough Cut 2x4. Moving on to the Twin Shock. Notice how the darts don't span off nearly as far as the Rough Cut 2x4. These I was a bit closer because they're shotguns and their darts tend to spread out over range. Next up for a Nerf firing demo, we're going to be using our humongous snipers, the Raptor Strike and the Centurion. I'm gonna up the difficulty a bit. This time, instead of just firing, we're gonna fire and aim to hit the cups in order, which will test my sniping skills and the guns themselves. Which do you think will win, Centurion or the Raptor Strike? Let's find out. Shot number 1, Raptor Strike. That was a pretty clean performance, just popping the darts right in place. Let's move on to the Centurion. Now, what's crazy about the Nerf Centurion is that it actually moves so much air that it ends up knocking over 1 cup down. The impact on these shots is incredible. 3 for 3! As always, very impressive performance from the Mega Centurion. Got 3 for 3 and at the end 5 for 5. This gun is a beast, shooting at such incredible force. Definitely one of the best snipers in Nerf. A ton of fun to use. And now for epic bows. Now, as cool as these bows may look, I'm actually not that good of a shot with them. I have been practicing recently with the Thunder Bow, which has been new to my collection, so I think I'll be fine. I'm gonna be completely honest. Don't have high expectations, please. Enjoy my awkward handling. So, as you can see, I made it a little bit easier for me to compensate. Let's do this. If you want to use this bow, you're going to have to be a specialist at it. You can't just give this to anyone and expect for them to know how to do this. I'm going to need some practice. Hopefully, I can redeem myself with the Mega Thunder Bow. Now, in case you hadn't noticed with the Strato Bow, every time you fire, it actually re-coordinates itself to the middle. That way, you have a constant line of aim. With the Thunder Bow, similar to the Twin Shock, you actually have to go layer by layer, which makes it much harder to aim. You'll be fine if you're hitting a large target, like a person, for instance, in a Nerf battle. And unlike the Strato bow, which you have to release really quickly, this actually does have a built-in priming mechanism, which means once you pull it back and it's primed, you can actually slowly release and it'll still fire as hard, which does what compensates for the harder aim. Hey, I did it! Woohoo! Perfect aim, baby! I got 5 for 5. Never mind, it was still loaded apparently. 4 for 4! Woo! Hopefully I redeemed myself a little bit. Let's move on to the second part of the firing demo. Part 3 of Elite vs. Mega is coming soon, so make sure to subscribe and give this video a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching.